All right, guys. Fresh from the fights. They just ended like 5-10 minutes ago. Initial thoughts? Good night? Boring night?
It was okay.
It was okay.
A lot of decisions tonight.
A lot of decisions. Almost every single fight of the main card is a decision.
Yeah, except the headliner of it, the Jim Miller and Roosevelt Roberts.
Before we get into the main card, just a couple thoughts on like the prelims. Obviously, the first fight with Max Roskopf or whatever it was,
and Austin
Hubbard.
Yep.
Very interesting, especially with all this talk lately about corners stopping it with like the Anthony Smith fight, the Tony Ferguson fight. And when they went to the corner, he told his corner, call it. He's like, I'm done.
I don't. And the corner's like, no, dude, you got this.
Like, come on, you can beat him. You're a champion. He's like, no, I'm done. I don't want to do this. And it's honestly depressing to see. Like, I understand as your coach, you want to try to push your fighters, hype them up, push them to their limits, and be like, no, get in there. You can do this. But at that point,
after you're mentally done with it, dude, you can't.
I think
Ariel do anything
on Instagram. I think Ariel Helwani said that it was 9 times that he's like, no, call it, and he still didn't do it until it was time to stand up.
The round started. And he said, "Hey ref, I'm done."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't want to fight anymore." Like, that's rough, man. I think it was probably his debut or something.
It might have
been UFC.
It might have been. I mean, Austin was technically a better fighter in the first round, so
it makes sense, man. He was probably just. I don't want to say in over his head. I don't know what kind of wording he used, but he was losing the fight, so he was probably just like, this is not what I want to do tonight. I'm getting beat up. Let's just call it a night.
Do you think Dana's going to give him another chance?
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to respect... fuck. It's a tough call.
You got to respect it. You got to look at yourself being the whole time, but
it's a weird call, man. There's been fighters that have come back from worse and won. I'm looking forward to. That's a good point. I'm looking forward to seeing what Dana's going to say about that, and I'm sure they're going to ask him questions. Only other thing on the prelims, Roxanne Modafferi. She was the second fight of the night, which is weird because when she fought Macy Barber, you remember?
She was the headliner of the prelims.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they kind of knocked her down, even though she was coming off that win of such a hype train, and she ended up losing tonight.
Wasn't anything special.
Yeah, a hard fought fight on both of their parts, but. It wasn't anything crazy. And then Guida losing.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised. But that was still a good fight with Clay and Bobby Green, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good prelims, man. Good prelims.
That was a good hard fight. That could have been to either one, honestly.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah. From watching it, I think it could have been either way.
Yeah.
Bobby,
I missed that one. I was driving. But
Bobby had some really good takedown defense.
Okay.
Every time Clay went to shoot, he got Clay into guillotine.
Okay.
He wasn't going for the submission, but he got him into the guillotine and then let go.
Gotcha.
So you get him back up.
Enough to get him to knock.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
So that fight, I wasn't upset with going to decision and going to Bobby Green, but it was a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's Clay Guida. I mean, he's been around so long. Maybe we'll see him again. Maybe we won't.
Yeah, definitely.
But either way,
and then jumping into the main card with Jim Miller and Roosevelt Roberts. I had so much hype for Roosevelt, dude.
Oh, brother, I wanted him to be the next, a next big contender.
He still can be.
Yeah,
he really.
It's only a second loss.
Only second loss. He needs to work on more of his defense.
Yeah.
Especially on the ground.
Yeah, because he slipped himself into that, honestly.
No, he did. He definitely did. He got out of it, and then he started throwing some hooks down on to Jim. Mm-hmm. And after I think it was a second or third hit, he tried setting up, and Jim, just being a specialist, hooked that arm and got that submission.
It was a verbal tap, huh?
It was a verbal tap, dude.
It looked gruesome. Like, it looked painful.
Dude, his fucking... From looking at his arm looked out.
Like, hyperextending like crazy, huh?
But it's still have a lot of hype for Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean, definitely 10-2, especially if he didn't take too much physical damage. Like, yeah, it's a tough loss, but he could honestly be back in a couple of weeks if he wanted.
Oh, he definitely. There was no real damage done to it.
He could fight in Fight Island if he wanted to. We'll see.
We'll see if they put him on there, but I think those cards are already.
Oh yeah, set. For the most part, a lot of them.
Now the prelims aren't.
Okay,
so he might be on the prelim, but.
We'll see. I mean, it's still a bright future for him.
Oh, definitely. Get another paycheck, brother.
Exactly. So right after that was the Belal Muhammad and Lyman Good fight.
That was a good fight, dude.
All stand-up, man. Super impressive. Going into the end, I was honestly kind of a little bit unsure. I knew Belal Muhammad was doing a little bit better in the earlier rounds. That third round was so back and forth, man.
It was like, going into the fight, we did a little bit of research between both of them, but not knowing much. Dude, Muhammad did a fucking great job.
He did really good.
Really did a good job.
Yeah, good W for him, especially against a hard opponent like Lyman Good.
The decision was, I think it was a good decision. Yeah, like, the refs didn't fuck it up this time.
No, yeah, definitely give it to Belal. That was, and I don't know, that's probably 3 or 4. I think 4 in a row maybe for him, something like that.
4, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was 4. It's 3 or 4. I don't know exactly.
He's a welterweight, so it's a tough division to work your way up. The top 5 or top 6 or 7 is so stacked. But we'll see. Whatever his next fight is, if he continues to move up these rankings. I mean,
if he's on a main card, that's a good sign.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going up those rankings.
Put him on a pay-per-view next. We'll see.
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Another fight night. Somebody that's ranked, and see how he does.
See how he does. Yeah. And then after that was the Raquel Pennington fight.
Another female fight.
Yeah.
Both her and her girlfriend won tonight.
Yeah, good for them. Her and Tecia Torres. Yeah, successful night for them. I know the biggest thing that stood out for me in that fight was her clinch game. She threw a lot of good knees to the body and stuff. And Raquel seems very strong. She was able to control her a little bit. But there's a lot of back and forth.
It was especially in the second round. The third round, Raquel
seemed like
she had that fight. Yeah, definitely. There was one moment in the third round where she threw a couple headshots, and then she tried switching gear, like ground.
Yeah.
Where I think she should have kept swinging, dude. I think she would have knocked her out.
She should have. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before that division's hard. She's gonna. What does she do? Win a couple fights and then fight Amanda again, and just especially if you guys watch tonight. The caliber that Raquel is at compared to Amanda is just not even close, honestly.
No, definitely not. No, Amanda would dominate her.
Yeah.
She would fucking play with her, dude.
Yeah, it's not even close, honestly. But, good W for her. 11-8 record now, so she's staying positive. That's good.
Yeah, that's dude. As long as you have a positive record, that's always a plus.
Yeah, so good for her.
And then jumping up to the co-main event with Josh Emmett and Shane Burgos.
Yeah,
Burgos. Dude, that was a fucking fight. That could be one of the fight of the year.
Fight of the year candidate for sure, man.
Definitely.
First exchange, like 15-20 seconds, he tears his ACL, or whatever.
He hurt his knee.
Yeah, hurt his knee bad.
Like he hyperextended that knee. Something bad happened in there. But dude, Shane can take a fucking punch.
I can't believe that.
You see that? Like, dude, those punches he was that
should have played him out.
Dude, Emmett was hitting with everything he had. There was one that I remember that Josh threw, hit Shane. Shane went down smiling.
Yeah, like, dude. I think every time he dropped him, he would hit the ground smiling at him like, "Come on, let's keep going." Like, that dude's a savage.
Yeah,
I thought he was so big for 145. He's only 5'9", which isn't crazy at 145. Because like Holloway, I think was maybe 5'10" or something. He's right around there, but his
body build.
His frame
massive.
is big.
He's massive.
Yeah, I thought he should play his reach a little bit better.
No, he needs to learn that for sure.
Yeah, because
he was going straight into Josh.
Yeah,
and Josh was just throwing left, right. Josh was 4 inches smaller, 3 inches smaller than him.
Yeah,
and with like 2-3 inch reach advantage.
Yeah.
Dude, like, what?
It's rough, man. Yeah, he should have played that reach, played the jab a lot more. He was having success with it when he used it. But then he would just get it in his face and have this little phone booth battle of throwing, and, Emmett's just landing these power hooks.
Dude, Emmett's fucking just straight power, too.
Yeah.
Which is, like, when you think about it, like, you would think Shane would have more power or something.
Yeah, just having the bigger frame and whatnot.
Right. But, dude... Josh, when we were listening to it, they said that all his power is natural. Like, it's not through, not through training or anything, but which is so crazy enough.
Yeah, I think one thing we noticed, Shane turns into the punches a lot, which is, it's Anderson Silva used to do it all the time, which is really good. That when these hooks are coming, he's already starting, so it's just kind of glancing more.
Yeah, grazing.
It still hurts, and a lot of them did lane clean, especially the 2 or 3 that dropped him.
Yeah,
but great performance by Josh, especially hurting his knee so early, and he fought through that.
Right, dude. He fucking dug deep to get those.
Yeah, so he's at 16-2 now. as a featherweight. I don't know what his ranking is, but
he was 8th going into this.
Okay, gotcha.
And Shane was 10th. So
the featherweights are stacked too. I mean, there's Volkanovski, Holloway. Zabit's number 3 now.
Yep. Which is crazy.
Yeah, he shot up
Ortega's number 2.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah. Ortega's number 2.
Okay, and
then it was Holloway, Ortega, Zabit.
I guess Korean Zombies like
4. Yeah.
Yair Rodriguez is up there.
5.
Yeah. It's a stacked division, so you got to put Josh against.
He said he doesn't want to fight anybody behind him. He wants to fight people in front of him.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, at that number, he should, especially, continue to work up the rankings. Fight a Korean. Well, I know Korean Zombie and Ortega are going to fight each other. Maybe Yair Rodriguez needs to fight. I'd love to see Zabit and Rodriguez.
That'd be good.
That's a banger. Who's going to be the better technical striker? But if that ever plays out, I'd love to talk about that fight. But good performance by Josh. Definitely.
Oh, no, definitely, dude. He showed hard, like we said in our previous video. Mm-hmm. We had Josh winning this fight, for sure. And we weren't wrong.
Yeah, he did.
I believe we did pretty good on our predictions.
Yeah, we had Josh, Raquel, Belal. I had Roosevelt, so I was incorrect on that one.
I think we both had Roosevelt on there because I wasn't expecting Jim Miller to get that submission.
Right, exactly.
And then we had Curtis Blaydes, which he did end up winning the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That main event wasn't anything special.
Yeah, there's certain types of grapplers that are entertaining still. I think even though fans that watch, everyone wants to see a knockout or a stand-up battle, but there's a certain aspect to good grappling, like Khabib's grappling. It's just on a whole nother level, and it's enjoyable to watch him dominate people. Curtis's he had so much success with the takedown. He set the record with like 12 takedowns in a fight, which is super impressive.
Volkov had his previous one was against Bellator, I think it was.
That was his last takedown?
No, his last biggest one was like 4.
Oh, okay.
He was taken down 4 times in a fight.
Yeah, I mean he
and
had no
fucking
answer.
Curtis blew that out of the
until the very end when he started stuffing some of them. He didn't really have an answer for it in the beginning.
Volkov started coming towards the 4th and 5th rounds.
Yeah, a little bit too late. Still, they were tired at that point. The punches were slower. Blaydes was ridiculously exhausted. Even in his post-fight, he was eyes closed, teetering. He was tired. He really needs to work on his cardio.
Oh, definitely. But no, it's still another great night of fights.
Oh, for sure.
Nothing like crazy like a couple of weeks prior.
Oh, but the weeks that are coming up,
dude,
stacked cards, brother. Even next weekend's really good.
Dude, and Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker.
That's gonna be
I can't wait for that fight, dude.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a dope
fight. We'll have a video for that one. Just to end it off, what do you think? What does Curtis Blaydes do, man? I mean, Francis is next in line after August for the DC Stipe fight. Do you keep... I mean, August isn't that far off, so maybe Curtis needs time to heal, but do you keep Francis busy and have him fight Curtis? But if they're
not going to do that because you got to think about it this way too, right? There's rumors out there that both DC and Stipe may retire after this fight.
Really? Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, you put Curtis and Ngannou if there is a vacant heavyweight title.
Put them up for it, yeah. And number 2 and 3, you might as well. I mean, their first fight was so long ago. It was a doctor stoppage. Curtis Blaydes' eye was swollen up like crazy. The second fight, Francis pieced him up, so it's like, it's one of those tough ones, like, they're going to have a third fight, and then what's going to be different? I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just Francis' striking is so impressive, but... If
Francis is all that power, dude.
Yeah, but if Curtis that showed up tonight, if he was able to... Because we know, Francis' wrestling isn't the greatest, so if he's able to take Francis down a bunch and, kind of control him...
We saw how Stipe did Francis.
Exactly. If he can do that to Francis, then, it's a different game.
That's getting him to the ground, though.
Exactly, and that's tough.
Like, Stipe had a hard time getting him to the ground, but when he did, he controlled it the whole time.
Exactly.
So,
and one thing was, man, Curtis just... Even when he took Volkov down, he wasn't doing, like, significant damage down there. He was just kind of putting his weight on him, getting the points, but he wasn't... I mean, he had better ground and pound against, like, Alistair Overeem. They showed a lot of the highlights where he elbowed him and finished him. Didn't really get to against Volkov in this.
Yeah.
I think Volkov needs to work on his submission game for sure.
Oh, my God.
A lot of time he was stalling down there.
He had a couple times where he could have got him into either a Kimura or even a guillotine.
But he just kind of... Just waited it out.
No, he's more of a banger, dude.
For sure.
He's dangerous up in a stand-up game, but on the ground, that's how most of your heavyweights are.
If he wants to be champion, he needs to work on that.
That's how most of your heavyweights are, though.
Right now, especially. But yeah, man, overall, pretty good fights. It was fight night on ESPN, so free. Everyone could have watched it. Hopefully you guys did. And then we'll have another video coming up for next week, Poirier and Hooker.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be a
Stay
decent
tuned, guys.
fight. So, if you guys are watching this, if you watched the fights tonight, comment your predictions. We had some comments on the last one. I think Volkov's going to win. I love seeing, the interaction back and forth. So let us know what you guys think. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.